Joker.
He is. Well, I told you guys he's the Joker. Okay.
Yeah, can you read that for me, please, Snowman?
Let me get back to the screen here. Detroit 313 sends a $5 super chat, which says Iran Prime Minister just said every U.S. citizen is a target.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. It's like I said, this is like I said, this has been pre-planned, so we have to see how far it goes.
For a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
They've been.
BGS,
It's like you
that
said,
means no
BGS, a
vacations
while
in
ago. They've been
Tehran.
dancing around this.
Huh?
That it said no vacations in Tehran.
No, yeah, you can if you want to take your life in your hands, but
Yeah.
the tickets are probably fairly cheap. Ain't nobody flying over that airspace. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you go to China, go to China and take one of those freighters, air freighters on the back end, and then
Mm-hmm.
drive
Yeah, it's a little bit too much for me.
in. Oh yeah, it's. I mean, all the tickets, especially in that region, are way up, man. Like hell, God, airplane tickets just went up like double. Yeah, so.
Yeah, we live in interesting times.
But Michelle Obama is really she kills me with the. I mean, the man made you the first lady. That's like the highest position you can get.
Yeah.
And just to act the way, I mean, she just can't be quiet. That's just a horrible thing.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be personal because she won't stop. Okay, and everybody's trying to get her to stop. That means this shit is personal. So,
My next forward
I think she hates the man's guts. I do believe that.
My next forward question is, why are we surprised?
We're not. But then,
I mean, I'm a little bit surprised because she's so loud about it. It's just all she has to do is be quiet.
Okay. I mean, I mean, you got your reparations, so you're not upset with things. Okay.
I can laugh at that statement too.
I mean, have you had a ex-girlfriend that loved you, but you guys couldn't work it out, and she get bitter, and she starts saying shit, and every time she get a chance, she's gonna tell everybody how she feels. That's what's going on right now.
Except for having an ex that loved me, yeah, I've had exes like that.
Yeah. Because if the ex couldn't stand you and you left, that she wouldn't even talk about you. Okay, but the thing is that for whatever reason, she low key hates her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Because every chance she gets, she downs him,
taking a shot at him.
Yeah.
So what is she bitter about at the end of the day? Anyway.
I think she's bitter the same way Jade is bitter, right? Okay, the bitch want out, and basically she can't get out because it's a bad look. Same thing with Jade.
Come out of this looking looking good.
Yeah, you're gonna look horrible, and
Hey, BGS.
Who's driving? Is that you?
Yeah.
You driving? Okay, we'll deal with it.
For what it's worth, on the Telegram channel that I'll be watching, they said air raid sirens is going off in Saudi Arabia. Fear of drone infiltration.
Oh, well, if the air raid sirens are going off, that means the radar picked it up. So.
Oh, the entire East Coast.
It's on like Donkey Kong. So.
Oh shit.
So in other words, hey, tunnel runner, if you headed to Colombia, you better do it now, man.
I guess so. I mean, I was trying to go to Jamaica, but I guess I'm gonna have to change.
If you go home, you better do it now because if what they're saying is getting ready to go on, that means some airline tickets gonna skyrocket.
Oh, but I got the inside hookup on that. So.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. I ain't say no more.
That's why I be going around the world. You
got that inside buddy pass. Okay.
BGS, you talking about paradise, man, in Tunnel Runner. Everything's copacetic in his world.
Oh, yeah, man.
Man.
Like I said, Colombia has the best punani on the planet. So he's good, okay?
He married.
He married to one. He married to one. So he good, boy. Talk about reparations plus, okay?
And getting hot meals every day. Cooking for me. I had pancakes this morning.
Lucky bastard.
Negro. Shut up, Negro. We don't want to hear it.
I
We don't
had
want to hear it.
You got
wings and rice and beans and some.
Oh my God,
Hey,
hungry, man.
Watch your
Damn.
cholesterol level, fam. Watch your cholesterol level.
He got a nice fat ass Colombiana cooking the meals, man. Can't get no better than that.
Lucky
Mm.
bastard.
no,
Hey,
but
hey, look, Tunnel Runner, I feel your emotion, my man.
Did we turn around? Did we tell you that we hate you?
man, like,
I mean, we feel that we hate you, right?
Yeah.
I
But
don't hate him.
I still love you, brothers. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay.
You know we hate your rotten guts, right?
Dice puede. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Come on, brother. Come with me.
Dice puede.
Oh man, yeah. That's it.
Do me a favor, y'all. Can y'all please wish Jody a happy birthday? It's after midnight, and I know she doesn't like the attention that much, but she knows it's for me.
Is she up?
Actually,
go ahead and record it. Go ahead and record it.
I'm recording it now.
Okay. Happy birthday, black girl. That black some of the black girl magic. Black girl magic is in the building. Happy birthday.
You ain't shit. I love you for that.
She's stealing every black woman's joy. Every black woman's joy.
Say that again, AL.
She's stealing every black woman's joy.
Yeah.
All right, which means we got to play around at this.
AL, I gave the sisters first refusal, first rights of refusal, and
Tonal,
I did messed up.
Tonal, I did the same thing. All right, we gotta do this because she hung with me one time when we did this game, and she laughed at some of y'all's answers. But this is a recent situation.
Okay.
We drove to Indianapolis because we had an event to do in Indy, and we went to a steakhouse in Indy. We were fine coming in. We were in danger coming out. Why? Because the gynocracy walked in.
Oh, here you go.
And
hello.
What's BGS? What's the phrase? If looks could kill.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
If looks could kill, I'd have been dead about 100 times already.
Like they used to call Kobe, the dagger.
Yes. Wayne Larrabee's favorite phrase, the dagger. The dagger is in. They were shooting daggers at me like Reggie Miller was shooting 3-pointers back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was going to. Now, this is where I have my fun, and this is where y'all have your fun. What do you think they were thinking? And Jody, honey, this is for you because you've only had a chance to hang around with us doing this game once, and this is being recorded right now. I want to give her this as a present. What do you think they were thinking when they saw us walk in?
Oh, he must be.
Oh, by the way, I'll add a caveat. We were dressed for the occasion.
So
is this a business thing?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Go for it.
Why is he dressed like that with his parole officer?
You know what they did? Like, oh,
Oh no, he didn't.
Is he on a business to lunch with his employer?
Yeah, I wish his mama could see him.
You know his mama black.
You stupid BGS. You stupid.
I got one.
This moment, you're true, but you stupid as shit for saying that. Even though BGS told no lies. You're stupid as hell for saying that.
Snowman
would be ashamed of him.
And mama rolling over in her grave right now.
Okay, Snowman.
Yes.
Remember that I am the Shannon Sharp to your Coach Prime because I ain't no good. I ain't no good.
On with it.
Consider you guys were dressed for the occasion. I'm looking at her thinking, oh, so she must be a corporate mud shark.
Ooh,
you know
mud shark.
something? Hey,
Yeah, I said it.
Go
Damn.
on. Next one.
Damn.
Was that
Even-
too
What
harsh?
is that?
Too harsh?
Like I
Hold
said,
on, hold on, please.
with any of these
What is
answers,
a mud shark?
with any of
A,
these
a,
answers,
a mud shark is a white woman that dates black men. Okay. There's
Just
a
like they
white
call a coal
Oh
burner.
God.
a white shark rolling around in the mud. That's called a mud shark.
listen, even though there were no lies told, you ain't shit for that, Namer. I love you for that, but you ain't shit.
I'm so hey.
I know.
I like I said, I ain't no good. I ain't no good.
They
What else
probably
you
came.
think
They
you would-
probably walked in. Oh, she must listen to Pearl.
Fuck you, you, and fuck you.
I know you like that one.
I love that one. You know, BJ,
Wait.
that one.
Yo, but fuck everybody else. I like that.
Go ahead.
I love that.
Wait. I got a new clip for you, Snowman.
That's a keeper. What's
Yeah,
that?
Snowman, I got a clip for you. Since you want to say that, you say F you. You remember that clip from Coming to America?
Yes.
Fuck you, and fuck you. Who's next? You gotta get that one.
Way ahead of your partner. I'm already thinking of how to cut that one.
That's funny. That's one I got.
That was bad. And BGS, you've been on the air with me when Jody's been on with me. Jody makes half of these jokes
She does. Yeah.
out loud.
You know he's with it because you got good credit.
I got a clip that you know I got a copyright strike from that chick. When she not a strike, but a claim. What did she say? If that water wet, they get it in that water.
I don't get it.
7 years, brother. 7 years.
Oh, I see. He got his reparations.
You motherfucking right. I got mine.
So he got his 40 acres in a white woman?
Yeah. I bet he didn't get no mule though.
Okay, how did Clay
Oh, wait a minute.
wait, just a moment. How did Clay put it? She
Yeah,
it's in the
sure
form
did.
of a Nissan Armada, god damn it.
I got one.
I'm gonna tell Dr. Umar on here.
Fuck you for that, AB. I love you. Fuck you for that. And the bad part is every one of these responses that you guys are coming up with have either been thought about in my direction or actually said to me. Remember, we spent 2 years in North Carolina.
I can hear him saying, walking. When did it start snowing?
No bunnies forever, black queens never.
Okay.
I got one of my own. I got one of my own.
own.
They walked in, they saw Jody and I sitting there dressed, having a good time, and they were thinking, "Oh, hell no."
Mm-hmm.
So is this supposed to be a job? Is this a job meeting? Or is this a job interview?
In a steakhouse, right?
Thank you.
Having job interviews at a steakhouse.
Hold on, wait a minute. Thank you, Tom T, for the cash app.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You better thank your donors.
Oh gosh. She just shook her head and went back to bed.
No.
Hey,
And
know we
All-Star
ain't no
G,
good.
you
We
ain't
ain't no
shit
good.
for this response, but I'll read it and I'll give it a bell. Who the hell is this? I think he is a bonnet baron. You ain't nothing for that, All-Star G. Oh, gracious. These answers get funnier and funnier every time I do this.
Mm-hmm.
I went in, gave her a massage, gave her a kiss. She came out, peeked at what I was doing, and she says, "Are you playing that game again?" Yep. She heard a couple of the answers through my headphones, laughed, shook her head, and turned around and went back to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. I got it. Okay.
Let's have it.
Burnt ends are never great with mayonnaise.
Fuck you.
And I like mayo, by the way. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Oh, wait, I'm African. What am I talking about?
Hey, B. Jamal Thomas got a thumbnail with Trump painted his face like the Joker.
Oh my God!
Oh Lord!
How you been listening?
Oh gosh!
Yeah, I started to tell you that Jamal Thomas is live now, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the lefties
that means they listen.
They talking about impeach Trump. I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
It doesn't matter because the thing is this is an ongoing policy for the United States. So and basically because Trump wasn't going to do it. That's probably why Iran felt comfortable because excess and what's her name?
Gabbard.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard. They were against this strike. So basically, that's like he sidelined them, right? Because there was people inside of Hex's crew that wanted to do this, and they had this big blow up, and Hex's walked them out. Okay, Hex's walked them out, so he was against this strike. So Gabbard and Hex were actually against this. So so he went against his own crew. But the thing that's not unusual because Obama did that to Robert Gates when he attacked Libya.
Yeah.
With those
you go back further than that. If I'm not mistaken, didn't a whole bunch of generals resign when Bush wanted to go to war in Iraq?
Yeah, they did. And then there's a bunch of them that started to when what's his name wanted to bomb Iran. They threatened to resign again. So this has been an ongoing thing. So, but the thing is, Trump is the Joker. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Why are they threatening to impeach Trump? He's not. That's. I mean, I understand they're out of power. That's maybe a way that they can say to their base, "We can impeach," but they can't. I mean, Mike Johnson just backed the president 100% on his strike on Iran.
But that's the whole thing. They're with the stuff. So why would they impeach him over this?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought maybe I misunderstood.
Yeah. I mean, that's a rumor, but it's not going to happen out over this. No. When they're with it, because even with the tariffs, right? Because they were at him about the tariffs, and we made the deal with China, and all of a sudden, those senators, 81 senators signed that bill to actually put harsher sanction tariffs on people doing business with Russia. So, so basically, they're with it. The thing is, right now, what they're doing is they're letting him do the stuff that they actually want to do. That's like most of the congressmen are not even talking about the raids, the ICE raids, okay? Because they're with it. They're with it. They're behind the Joker's actually doing what they want him to do. That's what comes. That's like they're not saying it because if that was the case and the Congress was actually against this, they would be meeting right now. Okay, they wouldn't wait till Monday. They'd be meeting right now. They have an emergency session over this because it's that important.
Yeah,
but they're not. If they're not headed to D.C., then that means they're with it. They probably already do. I'm sure if we knew that the B-2s were being fueled up, they knew that this was probably going to happen. So they knew.
They knew because Van Jones is actually praising this. So what does that tell you?
Yeah. But they've been wanting to do this for a while. But the thing is, now we have to see how this escalates. Because you will know by morning. What's getting ready to happen? Because it's not going to take that long. So either Iran is really pissed and they're getting ready to do something because all those missiles are already fueled. They could have done it minutes after the B-2s actually dropped off the bombs. They could have done it minutes later if they really wanted to. Okay, so
the United States also used a bunch of cruise missiles. That attack, everybody's going to find out that the U.S. attack was bigger than what those 3 sites were. They actually used a bunch of cruise missiles from the USS Georgia.
Yeah, but the cruise missiles aren't going to do anything against those hardened sites inside that mountain.
No, I think they were follow up. I think those were just follow up.
The thing is, there's no way you're gonna get B-2 bombers. I think it was 2 or 3 of them into the middle of Iran without some F-22s running escorts. Okay.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure the F-22s have been in this from the very beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
Because right after that, right, they started shooting out F-35s like they were like they were paperweights. Okay, so that means F-35s are doing standoff missions. Okay, they're going.
Yeah, that's what they're good at.
Firing missiles. Yeah, that's what they're doing, right? Because the thing is, the initial attack, F-22s had to be in the middle. The only thing that could penetrate past those freaking S400s is F-22. Okay, they even have a chance at it because those S400s will shoot those F-35s down, and the people and some of those F-35s, Israeli F-35s that thought they could get past them S400s, they fucked around and find out because they shot down like 8 of them.
Yeah, that F-35. It's good at what it does, but it's not great. I mean, even NATO didn't use it as a main replacement plane because the F-16s were outperforming in ACM. But yeah, those B-2s went in, and you know, as soon as they left, I'm like, okay, they're about to refuel because everything was staged. Like they did the tankers first. They're gonna refuel. Trump saying sign this deal or else, and Trump negotiate. He's like the Emperor from Star Wars. So the Emperor wanted peace, but he also built a horrible weapon called the Death Star to force the peace on them. So that's what he's saying to him tonight. At least that's my understanding, is that he's like, oh, you can sign this and then this is over with. But you're right, BGS. They have to wait.
You have to wait and see.
Iran does.
You got to wait and see, and we have to wait and see if China and Russia are going to get involved in it because if the United States and Europe are basically going to go in on Iran really doesn't stand that big of a chance. Okay, the thing is that it needs help from its big brothers. But the thing is, there's always been a pact between Iran and China and Russia. Okay, so as long as Russia didn't need him, because Iran doesn't need any help against Israel. Okay, Israel's toast without the United States.
Yeah, they don't go in without U.S. backing.
Since I got you up here, what are your thoughts on the new Xbox plan?
Well, they're getting out of consoles. This was something that we were talking about. Oh golly, 6 years ago. They don't. It's just Sony kicked their butt the last 2 generations, and including this one. So Sony just makes better. It's quite frankly, they make better games. But they're not. They signed a deal with AMD, but I'm trying to go back. I just read that, and I'm reading all this war stuff. But somebody was just saying that AMD is not. They're not going to make a console. AMD is actually what Microsoft is doing. Is they are just allowing. It's Microsoft's DNA. Microsoft is a software company, so they're just going to put their software with Asus or Dell. They're going to let them make the hardware. They're going to let them do the power sourcing for it, all that. All Microsoft is going to do is put Windows 10 in. What Sarah Bond said clearly was that it's a Windows device. She didn't say it was an Xbox. So they're done with Xbox. They're putting, like right now, I've pre-downloaded Gears of War. I've got Forza loaded. I just haven't started to play it yet. These are Xbox first party games. Indiana Jones is on there. Sea of Thieves is on there. So when Satya Nadella said that we don't see Sony and Nintendo as competitors, we see them as partners. That was the signal, and that was in 2023. So what they're doing is they're just going to go ahead, and it doesn't matter who makes the hardware. They just want to supply the software. And this is back, they did this back in the day. I mean, BGS knows this, when they went into IBM and said, we can help your computers interface with documentation. We call it DOS. So it was software, and Microsoft is getting in where they fit in. They got to get out because Phil Spencer said that we can't out console Sony. I mean, those are his words. So, and so when you have him saying it, they bring Sarah Bond in. I think she came from Verizon. I think either Verizon or AT&T. That's what she's doing is exactly what they need to do. Is just make some handhelds, make a smaller device that you can just plug and play. They no longer have to, when you're coding for them, you only have to code for PlayStation and Windows because it's going to be a small computer. So that saves time, which saves money in the long run. They're going to use AI to help the programming. So it's done. But if you buy the device, it's like building a home PC and just slapping an Xbox sticker on it. That's
all you're doing. That's really right.
So, and it's fine. because now they don't have to worry about developers bitching and moaning about the Series S and how hard it's going to be to code for the Series S. They just make it one SKU for Windows, and then you put it in, and they're going to have Steam and Epic. The same thing your computer has right now. You can just download Steam and Epic, and get their game. So their fanboys that are bitches anyway, they went ahead and they were like, well, now we don't have to buy a PlayStation to play Sony games. We'll just buy this device. It's like, yeah, that device is an open source PC.
Yeah.
Like if you order a PC from Dell or you order it from wherever, that's all it is. And Sony doesn't care that happens, because one, they don't have to maintain the infrastructure. They get 100% profit, and they wanted you out of the console space. That's what they wanted.
And consoles don't have enough money to keep up with the hardware anyway. So
with the hardware. So they, and Herman Holtz, the head of PlayStation Games, he literally said they wanted to. He just said this a week ago. We wanted to establish something called console dominance. I mean, it was something like that. They've done that. They are the dominant home console. Ipso facto, in the discussion of. They won this console war. So Microsoft, again, I give them credit. They were getting their asses handed to them. They got out. I mean, it makes perfect sense. They did it with Zoom. They did it with the phone, the Windows Phone. If something's not working for them, they will get out of it. They did this for 25 years. I've said before on my podcast, Sony's PlayStation is Godzilla, and Godzilla is the king of monsters. Period. And people were like, what about King Kong? Godzilla is the king of monsters. That means he's the king of Godzilla. So, so it is what it is. So, but yeah, it's a good idea, AB. I agreed with their idea. I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah, me too.
And Apple kicked their butts with hardware. They pushed Apple pretty much almost out of software. They invested in Apple, and in the 90s, Apple was running out of money. That's why Steve Jobs, rest in peace, got fired. So he got fired. It's like, because he had to go to Microsoft to get money, and that's why Microsoft's stuff runs on Apple. That's why it does, you know.
And the only reason Apple survived is because the United States was taking Microsoft to the antitrust court. And
we got competition here. Give us money.
Right here. But he insisted that Steve Jobs get reinstated. That was the
and Steve Jobs got revenge. I think, didn't he create? Is it Pixar? Didn't he help create that?
Pixar and Next Computer. Yeah.
And then Apple asked him to come back, and when he went back, all the people that helped pushed him out.
Bill Gates said invested bought like 25% of Apple stock, right? Because
it's 25 or 30. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because they needed a competitor to close the antitrust case that the United States had against Microsoft, because Microsoft didn't have a competitor. I think Microsoft at the time had 97% of the world's PCs. Okay, and they didn't have a credible competitor. And the only thing that was close was Apple, that was getting ready to go under. So, but Bill Gates, he said, okay, let's. I said, the only people that are close to us is Apple. Okay, let's give them a cash infusion. And they said, but my only stipulation is you had to put Steve Jobs back head of Apple. That's how that's how he got back in.
No, that actually makes sense. That was different.
I remember, because I was getting ready to buy some Apple stock at the bottom, because I think it was like $11 a share, right?
Yeah.
I got to buy some, and all of a sudden that stuff shot up. I said, what the hell happened? And then found out Microsoft had come in and bought like 25% of the stock. And then with that, and then Steve Jobs coming back in his head and bringing the stuff that he got from Next, because a lot of that stuff that they infused into the new Apple products, man, came from Pixar and came from Next Computer. Okay, he infused that, and then with the infusion, and then then they got lucky in the and then the iPhone. They came up with the iPhone, and after that, they took off. Okay,
iPhone.
And right after that, after iPhone, I think Bill Gates sold the stock back.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the reason. That's the reason that Bill Gates got Steve Jobs got back in, and Apple survived.
Yeah. So Apple's big on the hardware.
Yeah.
Microsoft is the software, and again, that's just kind of where they sit. And with Sony does hardware. Their games look the way they do because they have their own in-house engines. Their new PlayStation has an advanced AI in it that AMD helped design. So it's they're just ahead. And I have that new PlayStation. I can't believe the way some of this stuff is looking. 4K fidelity. That new Death Stranding game is coming out in like 48 hours. It is rumored to have 120 FPS mode as long as you have VRR on your monitor. Microsoft doesn't make stuff.
Yeah, these chips are getting so small they can pack.
They're talking about 3 nanometer chip, 3 or 4 nanometer chip.
No, they're down. They're talking about 1 now.
Is it 1 now? Okay, I know.
They're taping off 1 nanometer, and IBM already has the. I think IBM already has a prototype for a 0.3 nanometer chip.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they said it's probably the end. They said it's probably going to be the end of the road. 0.3 thereabouts is going to be the end of the road. Then they have to do something else.
Yeah, and AMD's moving from RDNA to UDNA. So
okay.
That's what will be in your PS6, allegedly. But we're like 3-4 years away.
The connecting software is probably the toughest thing. How do you connect all these little things together?
As far as Microsoft moving to adding Windows makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if they add some mod support for their handhelds and stuff like that. So
The thing is that at this point, because I got an AMD chip and 12 core, right? And most times, unless I'm doing something really tough, it barely gets over like 15%. I very seldom, unless I'm doing video, it barely goes over 15%. So it doesn't take that much.
Or Unreal, bless his heart.
Oh God, that's a monster.
Really, the games like Unreal really hit your GPU more than hit your CPU.
Yeah.
And that's only if you want to max out the pixels on it.
The pixels,
They by the way, Craig.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about Sony. Sony's been in this Sony's main bread and butter is the entertainment industry, right?
Yeah.
Entertainment software and everything. Entertainment hardware. So they know what they're doing when they put out, when they put out the first PlayStation and everything. They just kept evolving from there. That's why it's not just a gaming console, it's also an entertainment hub.
Yeah, Nintendo messed up. The PS1 was supposed to be the next Nintendo, and Nintendo turned it down. And PlayStation said, "Well, we have this system here. We have this kit. We'll just put it out."
Nintendo had if you remember, like 93, 94, Nintendo severed ties with Sony, and then they went to Philips.
Yeah,
that didn't work out.
And it didn't work out. Yeah, Nintendo's still done well, but overall, it was a bad call at the time. It's kind of like because they probably didn't see this coming.
Nintendo made a lot of bad calls at the time.
Nintendo they own that handheld space. You go to if you were in Japan. That's what they're doing. A lot of them are on those switches at those little gaming hubs, and that's fine.
Because it doesn't take that much in modern hardware to actually run those games.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Switch?
Especially on that small screen.
I'm buying the Switch too. I want to play that new Donkey Kong game. I grew up playing Donkey Kong, so I'm not going to stop.
Man.
Hey, may I make a suggestion, Craig?
I haven't played Donkey Kong in years.
Donkey Kong, man, takes me back to 1983, man.
I was a baby then.
And Nintendo.
I'm old school when it comes to video games. I always say it on my show: up, down, left, right, shoot. That's it.
That still works.
I got as far
Fortnite is. That's
as far as consoles go. The last one I ever had was the original PlayStation. And I got that as a gift.
Yeah.
You know what it did?
What?
That some bitch sat in my closet and collected dust.
Yeah, see that actually played movies and it would play CDs, like music.
Yeah,
It was
did.
VCDs to be accurate. VCDs and CDs and everything.
Well, you
The
basically,
P-
as long as it had a software embedded in it, it could play any one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
Oh
laser.
wait, you needed like
laser.
was it like you needed an adapter for the VCD though? To play VCDs, you needed an adapter of some type. But it did play CDs on its own.
Let me have a.
And
let me
that's
ask a
why
question.
the PS2, that's why it became big because it was like also doubled as a DVD player.
Yeah.
Let me
Hell,
ask
all
a
the
question
games
to the
were
panel.
DVD format, the disc.
Let me ask a question to the panel. What is the first gaming console you ever owned?
Always in like
and
physically bought it.
The original Nintendo.
The first one I ever owned was the Atari 5200.
Okay, that's a little later. Yeah.
We got it Christmas in '83 and wore that bitch out in 2 years.
Mine was ColecoVision in '83.
I remember
that one.
ColecoVision.
Yeah, Ladybug. They had that.
I
one.
remember ColecoVision.
Before we continue, I got to ask the question to those of you that own those systems. Did any of you play the infamous ET game?
Yeah, worst game ever created.
No.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Never did.
For their credit, it only took them 3.5 to 4 weeks to make that game.
Right? Yeah, they did it in less than a month.
Yeah, the hottest two things on the consoles when I started playing was Donkey Kong and the Prince of Persia.
Yeah,
Prince of Persia. Oh Lord,
that's a great
Prince of Persia. There's a classic.
were unheard of at the time when that first came out. They took a lot of the Assassin's Creed games that came out. It took a lot of inspiration. Same company, Ubisoft.
You know the story behind the original Assassin's Creed. It was originally supposed to be a Prince of Persia game.
Yeah, wouldn't shock me. There was a lot of there's a lot of touch there when you play them both. It's like, oh yeah, but they're doing the same thing.
Yeah,
your character does pretty much the same thing.
It's supposed to be like a more realistic version of Prince of Persia, but they turned it into Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
and we've been playing it ever since. So
Hey, how many Assassin's Creeds have been there so far by Ubisoft?
Over, I think there's 12,
something like that. 12.
Yeah, I think there's 12 or maybe more than that because I know there was some with I mean, it may be more than that.
On the Vita, on the PS3,
yeah, I got almost the whole collection, believe it or not. So
yeah, those are solid games. Those have been solid.
Yeah, Origins is my favorite because you get to explore a simulated version of Egypt.
Yeah, no, I love that setting, but mine so far is Odyssey, and then that new one that I have, Shadows. That's good too in Japan. So that's pretty good.
Has anybody ever tried Valhalla?
Yeah, it's a little long. It is. Matter of fact, it's no little too. It's a long ass game. That's why Mirage they cut down like 15 hours out of Mirage because again, still a solid game, still a fun game, but it's just long.
How about this? Let's change the question. What was the first game, arcade or console, that you ever played?
Wow.
I can answer that by playing this.
Asteroid.
Pac-Man. When I was really little.
Yep.
Asteroids for me.
I remember Asteroids.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2.
Centipede.
Did you say Centipede?
Centipede.
Oh, I remember that one too.
Do you know what? I got used to that trackball in the arcade and was doing fine. Then Atari decided to come out with the trackball attachment specifically for Centipede, and I couldn't control that bitch.
Because it's not as accurate as the one in the machine.
Right. It had a tendency to stick. The trackball on the arcade version, on the arcade cabinet was free flowing. The trackball on the 5200 had a tendency to stick.
Cheap trackball. Yep. Sounds
Y'all remember anybody remember pole position?
Yeah, classic. Yeah.
Yes. That thing ate up a lot of
now it's Forza. Yeah.
That thing ate up a lot of my allowance. All the old ones did. Pac-Man,
Forza,
Centipede,
Gran Turismo. Which one's better?
Miss
you guys
Pac,
think?
Miss Pac-Man.
Gran Turismo is the best driving simulator in the world, to the point where you can actually get a license and learn how to drive those cars. It's a real
Nice.
thing. Yeah,
Nice.
you can get a real license. It's so they
Okay.
are, just like Forza, the Forza game, not Motorsports, but Horizon. That's the best arcade driving game ever created. But it's not Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo, they really teach you how to race cars. And
you have to get licenses in the game just to race different car types.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it is true. And I have VR, so playing it in VR, that's also another immersion.
Now,
point.
see, why did Louis have to go back in the day with Joust?
Oh, Joust was good. It was a good
Joust
game.
Joust was challenging and fun.
I'm an Xbox guy, but to Gran Turismo's credit, that's how I got into car sim games.
Where the fuck is Z when we need him?
Gran Turismo 3. I love that.
Oh
game.
yeah, that's classic. I mean, there's other ones too. The Project Cars is good, but it's not as good as Gran Turismo. It's like a
wait. Hold on a second. This conversation is an injustice because a certain Haitian is not up in here. Mr. South Florida should be covered because that's his thing. That's his thing.
Yeah,
his genre is racing cars, both of the consoles.
He's a Forza in that.
I want to have
Forza and Gran Turismo. He loves those consoles. He loves those franchises. Both.
Okay, BGS. I got an old school one for you. Pick
Uh-huh.
one: pole position or turbo.
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 Mm-hmm.
I played them both. I beat Turbo once, and I nearly got busted for missing school that day. Or almost missing school because the time I beat it, I had 5 minutes to get about a block east to school and up to class. And this is after being dropped off a half hour early.
Remember Mike Tyson Punch Out?
Oh, hell yeah. Wore it out.
Nintendo, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that came with Ludacris, man. That was Ludacris for the time. It was absolutely Ludacris.
It's a little older arcade game, but WrestleFest.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
I love that one.
WWE.
Love that one.
That's one of the reasons I got into wrestling is playing that game. In fact, I still play WWE 2K25.
Yeah.
This is breaking. Israel's has detected missile launches from Iran. This is just 7 minutes old.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Talking about Israel. Headed toward Israel, where?
Yeah, they're headed towards Israel.
Oh yeah. I mean, this has been every day, so this is just right now it's just Tuesday.
Par for the course, unfortunately.
The thing is how many?
Yeah, it doesn't say that. It's not saying, but yeah, it probably. I know the other night they launched 60 at them, so it was quite a few.
I just what I'm really waiting for is the damage report of those strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Oh, they're damaging. Yeah, they're hitting their civilian population.
Well, I'm talking about the strikes of the B2s. That's what I'm waiting.
Yeah. Well, I had that up. There's a really good site that does this.
But it's going to take about a day or so for them to actually tell you exactly what the damage is.
Oh yeah. They dropped 12 of those mobs.
Oh, they dropped 12 bunker busters. Wow, that's
they dropped 12.
Hey,
let's confirm 12.
Yeah, let's go domestic for a minute. BGS, your thoughts on the Democrats apparently being out of money, the DNC apparently being out of money.
They spent a lot.
They
spent a ton of money trying to get Kamala Harris in.
Yep.
And I'm not surprised that they're out of money.
Lindy Lee, that's what BGS said. Lindy Lee said that their limousine liberals were pulling most of their money out until they did an audit.
Greg Morgan.
Yeah,
Morgan. I'm sorry. All right. If Lindy Lee, hopefully it's better now. If Lindy Lee mentioned this, that their limousine liberals had threatened to give them things that they wouldn't audit. of the money that they spent on Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
She raised $1 billion. So they are, and so now they compromised with this thing where they came up with it. The $20 million to study why men have left the party, but they already know why. Nobody spends that kind of money in politics already having a predetermined destination. So it's just something that they want to be able to say. But yeah, nothing, them running out of money or having issues with money, it doesn't shock me either. Not at all. That until they do that audit on where their money went.
But then when we went, Yep. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money to spend, and you come up short.
The pooch bad.
If you win, don't have to worry about it. If you lose, okay, people want their money.
Yeah, where's the money, dude? What does Stewie say on Family Guy? Where's my money at, man? Where's my money?
Don't make me a fool, man. Don't make me a fool, Brian.
Bitch better have my money.
Yeah. And they have the right to ask where their money went. And I'm like that. Lenny Lee said that was going to be what was going to drive the wedge in that party, was that they got it. Again, if you go up to somebody and say, I have $1 billion, and it's 7 months later, it's like, well, I'm $20 million in the hole. They cannot say she lost because of she couldn't raise enough money. That's not why she lost. It's just, it was a terribly run. And I just got done reading Original Sin. It wasn't a very well put together campaign. It was all smoke and mirrors. That's in the book. So
it was forced. It was forced.
Yeah, it was very much so. It was pieced together.
Yeah. One thing is that the problem is that if you like I said, that's why geopolitics has to come into it, right? Biden was supposed to be in there just long enough to get rid of the Soviet Union and make them collapse. Okay, it's supposed to be like 2, maybe 3 years max, right? And then he's supposed to move out of the way for newer blood, like like
they wanted.
Yeah.
To add to what you're saying, BGS, this is why he did so well bringing in those new NATO countries. That was part of putting pressure on the Soviet Union.
Well, on Russia, but then the thing is, they were supposed to collapse. And when I looked at the metrics about what they were trying to plan, and said if it wasn't for China, it would have worked. Okay. But the thing is, that was their timeline. But the thing is that if the thing is that Biden's team wasn't just him, but his team that were actually running this operation, and it wasn't completed, right? That's how come he wanted to stay in, because it wasn't finished. Okay, he's supposed to finish 2 years and then hand over the reins to Kamala Harris, and then whatever else happens, right? But things that didn't happen. That's how come he wanted to stay, even though he knew he was well past his expiration point.
Yep, he had to pivot. Really, he had to pivot quicker than what he wanted to.
I mean, the thing is that that's like Barack Obama said, you can't stay. You got to open this thing up, okay? Because you supposed to have been gone, and so I think it's called the book called The Fight. They actually did a pretty decent job of actually explaining it. The thing is that to keep his team in place, the only person who would keep his team in place was Kamala Harris. So that's why they so the Clinton wing, who were neocons, transferred all this money and power into and put it behind Kamala Harris, so they can keep this team in place, so they can actually keep this plan going. And that didn't work out. Okay?
Yeah, and Biden's people, it shocked me. They said the original sin was them choosing Kamala Harris to make Bernie Sanders people happy, because they do blame the Sanders wing, if you want to call it that, Sanders AOC and all of them, for losing in 2016. So because they
that's bullshit. Go ahead.
I know. I agree.
I agree. Let me play it for BGS. Let me say it for you.
Now that's some bull. Basically, Bill told you why Hillary lost. Okay, Bill told you that what's his name released that information off that laptop at the end of the toward the end of the election, or the end of the campaign.
Yeah,
what's his name? In fact, they met him. Remember when Hillary and Bill met him on the tarmac? Yeah,
I remember.
And they cut. Evidently, they cut a deal, right? And I guess he stabbed him in the back.
Yeah,
they had cut a deal not to release that crap. Okay, that's the reason she lost. Okay.
Yeah, Snowman, can you read that for me, please?
TD Tell him with the $5 super chat says, I spent a week's allowance one day beating the 1989 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade games. Good times.
Oh yeah, that was
yeah.
my kids love Mutant Ninja Turtles, man.
Yeah, let's see. I
We
beat,
all did.
Find some. I got something from that game. Let me see if I can find it.
yeah, now with some help,
Sorry.
I beat the Simpsons game, and
Oh,
the only
man.
the only two arcade games I've beaten by myself is Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 3.
Okay.
What about 2?
Did y'all
Two
do
is
y'all
hard as fuck.
remember the part in the Ninja Turtles game, the original, where one of the villains says, "Come and get him, Shell Brain," and then Shredder laughed, and then they come out of the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stage theme music to that.
Turtles even have Shell.
Yeah. In fact, they use that in the cartoon version too.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, they do.
My kids
My favorite
Ninja
game was
Turtles.
Turtles in Times.
That was a great one too.
Let me
That
see if
was
y'all
dope.
let me see if I recognize this one. What game is this one from?
Spy Hunter.
You got it. That didn't take long. My friend got me hooked on that game and every weapon they're in.
Okay, I got a question for everybody here. Anybody who's played first-person shooters on PC?
Yeah.
There's no right answer, no wrong answer here.
Yeah.
Among the original Wolfenstein, original Doom, and
Mm-hmm.
Duke Nukem, which one's your go-to?
I think Wolfenstein was probably better, and Doom was probably better, but I loved Duke Nukem because of the jokes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm a Wolfenstein boy because I love the alternative history. So, but yeah, and I play it in German. So because even I don't really understand German, it just
Right.
adds it makes it a little more authentic when you're listening to the Nazis speak German. 'Cause it's
Oh,
fun to try to figure out what they're-
Wolfenstein?
Yeah, it's fun to try to figure out what they're saying.
They warn, yeah.
Yeah.
It's feast safe.
Yeah, the latest one I played, Hitler was on the moon. The Nazis built a base on the moon. and
On
Hitler
the
was on
moon?
the moon. Yeah, you have to try to go up there and take him out. It's a game. It's Wolfenstein. So
It's alternative history.
Which
On
game?
the moon.
Mine was. I love playing Wolfenstein, but I love playing Doom as well.
Yeah, that's- yeah.
Speaking of driving games, okay, okay, Craig. Let me see if you remember this one. What driving game? Let me see if anybody remembers what driving game this theme is from.
Pole position.
What was that?
I'm not sure what that is.
It's not pole position.
It's not Cruising USA, is it? It's not
No.
Cruising.
No. Before it was before this the game, the theme I just played. Horowitz got it. Outrun.
Outrun. Okay.
It was
Yeah,
Outrun.
That's a
Oh,
classic.
Outrun. Okay, I remember that.
It was Outrun.
It's
That
cool
took
to
a
see
lot
how
of
those
my
games have
allowance.
evolved. You know, how those games ended up evolving to what we got right now.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, by the way,
It didn't even say get set and go. It just said get ready. Then you were pulled onto the road and off you went.
Oh, AB, you want
Yes.
to put up post up the Cash App so I can read it? By Lamont Sanders. Lamont Sanders, not T.
Somebody said
Oh,
Streets
thank
of
you,
Rage.
Gisela, for
I got it.
$5.
I got it. Lamont Sanders for $1.99 says MK Trilogy 2 for Saturday was top tier.
Yeah.
I could never master MK. I could never master MK. The only character in the original Mortal Kombat that I sort of could master was Liu Kang.
But
See, I mastered Jax pretty well, but the rest.
Oh, Jax was fun to play with. I love Jax.
Gotcha.
Jax was fun to play with.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah,
And then Jax evolved after MK3.
Yes, I didn't play it after that, but yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, get over here. Scorpion was always my main.
Yeah, he was tough too.
Come here, get over here.
Yeah, you learned that pull with that thing he had. Yeah, he was tough.
Well, y'all know this because I play this one all the time.
Tiger uppercut.
You know
Street
where that
Fighter.
was from?
Street Fighter 2.
That's Street Fighter.
Yep.
Street Fighter 2 is Street Fighter Turbo. Which one would you go for? Which one would you go to?
Turbo.
Turbo.
Yeah.
Turbo was better.
I kind of got the hang of Super Street Fighter 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got close with Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but then they came out with a hyper version of it, and I couldn't break it.
Yeah. I actually got they came out with the anniversary of they have all the cabinets. I got the game.
Nice.
So I got all the versions of Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter, all the versions of Street Fighter Alpha, and 3 versions of Street Fighter 3.
Nice,
including Third Strike. I also, believe it or not, I also have a Super Street Fighter 4 with the arcade edition, which is like it's like Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter Alpha and Street Fighter 2 combined into one game with 3D graphics.
When I was going through some stuff in Chicago and I wound up homeless, I played the hell out of Tekken and not Tekken, Street Fighter. Virtua Fighter was at Union Station in Chicago, so I wore it out. And Soul Calibur was another one I played. But for Mr. Donnie Mac, instead of Soul Calibur, it was Soul Edge.
Yeah, that was the original game before it came Soul Calibur. But wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute,
Soul
Snowman.
Edge was the one I say again.
Wait a minute, Snowman. I thought all we do is bash black women on here, talk about black women all day. What happened? Oh wait,
you big dummy.
Well, according to me, all we do is hate black women. We hate black women's guts. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. But anyway,
well, I've actually listened.
Time,
listened to her and finally listened to something called an FD signifier. That's something out of the video game XCOM. You are supposed to go steal the FD signifier to help identify the next alien attack. And they're just basically saying that
it's funny you mentioned FD signifier because whenever I see him playing the game, he's always beating up a woman. How sexist is he?
Hey, Craig, in answer to in response to that, my next playful forwards are who told this lie.
Oh, as far as
there you go TD combo breaker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Killer Instinct combo breaker ultra. I
got one for Proud to Be a Simp, and Proud to Be a Simp. It's my wife's birthday, so you better throw a cash app my way when I give you
my cash app too. While you
hit them both. I'll put mine in the chat. This is for you, Proud to Be a Simp. You're welcome. Matter of fact, honorable mention for fighting games, Killer Instinct, combo breaker. Matter of fact, Proud to Be a Simp. I got a couple of more for you. Well, this one's for AB. You know that. I think everybody who's touched a computer remembers this sound.
I know that sound.
I made there's a sound that I picked up that had all of them mushed together. Then, of course, one of our favorites that I have to play once a Saturday night.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
And all we're supposed to do is talk about what and hate what.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna ask a question.
Okay.
I got one for y'all. To anybody here who's a racing head.
Name a standby.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, AB.
What was the first version of Windows you worked with?
1.0.
When was that?
Because I was using DOS, and basically 1.0 was 86, about 86, 87, right after
Barely walking
Apple.
it. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it was on a floppy. It crawled. Yeah, it crawled like a
The
son of a
five
bitch.
the 5.25-inch
Yeah,
floppy.
yeah. Because the hardware made that shit so slow. Okay.
Yes, it did.
Windows wasn't any good till 3.3.
I didn't touch any version of Windows until I went away to college, and that's when I saw all the that's when I saw the colored version of Windows with the 5.25-inch floppy. Because the first computer I ever worked on, not played on, but worked on, was in high school.
Yeah,
and that sumbitch was heavy to lift.
Yeah. Because we used to use Windows 3 and I think it was 3.3 and then DOS along with it. Because DOS is actually embedded into Windows. So we just used 3.3 DOS and then Windows 3. And Windows really, the first really good usable version of Windows was 95.
95.
Yes.
Yep.
Believe it or not, my first version of Windows was 3.5, I believe it was.
Okay.
Hey,
yeah.
Proud to be a simp. I found a page for you that has. I played that one for you. It has this, and of course, everybody knows the finish, which is what happened to FD Signifier when he decided to try to cross BGS.
Oh.
You're welcome.
He hasn't tried it since, so he's been, he really hasn't tried it since.
The book is right. Green screens and dot matrix printers. Dear Lord.
Oh yeah, I remember dot matrix.
Sperry was the first brand of computer I ever used, and I used it in high school. And I'll say it again, that sumbitch was heavy to carry.
Yeah. I remember it was 89. I got a Shade Tree Apple laser printer.
Oh
yeah, I was.
You were the place to go, right?
I was the shit. Yeah.
So you were the place to go. Hey, he's got that new printer.
Yeah,
we gotta go check it out.
Yeah. I came across one. Okay.
You can't. You ain't gotta say anything else.
Because at the time, I think they were. Oh, good grief! Those things had to be like $7,000 a piece.
Damn.
Yeah.
What year was this?
The dot
88, 89.
The dot.
Laser printer 89. Yeah, man. Oh man.
The laser printers in 89 were between 4 and 5 figures.
Yes.
Yeah, they were between 4 and 5 because
they were.
Mom and Dad were telling me about those.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad were telling me about those.
Yeah, I was making.
My first.
I was making all kind of flyers and programs for people.
Yeah. Like I said, my first Windows was 3.5. I think it had like 4 kilobytes of RAM in it. It was it was something ancient.
Yeah, that's how come because I had the laser printer, I couldn't use Photoshop. I had to use Aldus PageMaker and stuff like that. So Aldus.
The first graphic program I ever messed with was Print Shop. Because I made a few things I made a few things in Print Shop, which was, of course, with a couple with the dot matrix printer, and I made some banners that I took with me away to school. Surprised the hell out of my friends on my floor when they looked up and they see this they see this banner and like, where'd you get that? I brought that with me.
Yeah.
The first graphic program I ever worked with was, believe it or not, Microsoft Paint of all things.
Oh, Paint, yeah.
I mess with Paint.
I mess with that still.
Paint came.
MS Paint, yeah.
For me, MS Paint came after all the years I messed around with Print Shop. All the years I messed with Print Shop, and then someone introduced me to Microsoft Paint, and that was the first time I was living in North Carolina.
I don't know if it's still around, but the first word processor I ever worked with was WordPerfect.
Oh my God,
that's
painful.
You just gave me an extra 10 gray hairs, AB. Thanks.
Hey, my father introduced it. Then I got introduced to Word.
Really, WordPerfect was the go-to if
WordPerfect
prior to like
was
1990.
as soon as I mastered Word Perfect, I thought I was okay. I thought I was good to go. I get to college and this thing called
Word.
Microsoft Word shows up,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going, what the fuck? And couldn't find Word Perfect except for like 2 or 3 computers all across campus.
Yeah. Word Perfect kind of died, fizzled out when Microsoft Word. Windows
Microsoft Word
95,
showed up,
Windows 95 rose up, and Microsoft Word came right along with it, and then Word Perfect started to fizzle out.
Yeah, Word Perfect fizzled out. By the time I returned home in '92, Word Perfect fizzled out.
It was starting to fizzle out like mid '90s.
Yeah.
Now, believe it or not, my first web page that I ever did before I took web classes was with Microsoft Word.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't know
that's how that came out.
It was part of the curriculum, and that's one of the reasons I got into web design. Then when I finally took a web class, we got into front page. Oh, good Lord.
I was using Dreamweaver, so
I only used front
but Dreamweaver cost though, so that's probably why.
I only used front page one time. And the one time I used it, it got me a broadcast contract at Brother Rice High School in Chicago. After people were telling me about front page, flipped that sumbitch on its ass and threw it out.
I mean, basically, front page was on ramp to Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver was actually the
Dreamweaver was the shit back then.
Yeah, it was standard. That's what I used.
Do you gentlemen mind if I ask BGS a question?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Boss, what's your thoughts on Jenny Bus getting $10 billion?
I knew this was coming.
One, I think.
Hold on, it's a 2-part question. And what are your thoughts on LeBron's son getting cut?
Because LeBron's retiring after this season, and the only reason that LeBron's son Bronny was even drafted and plays is because of LeBron, and without LeBron, there's no reason to keep him. He's a G League player. That's what he is, and it's not saying that's bad, but that's what he is. He's a G League player. Okay? And he's brain wise, he knows the game, but seeing as athletically, he's not there. He's not his father. Okay. He's not his father. Okay. Everybody don't have the athletic talent to actually play in the NBA. Okay. Because as far as skill wise, he can play in the NBA skill wise, but the thing is, he doesn't have the NBA quickness and talent to actually play at that level. Other than way at the end of the bench, he's okay. I mean, he's okay because the people saying he can't play. He can play. Okay. But the thing is, it's not his skill that's his problem. It's just athletic talent is his problem. He can't play at that level.
Right.
And there's no shame on him because very few people actually can.
Right.
So that's why I said, people asking who's a better basketball player, Angel Reese or him, is obviously him because she can't play. She has no fundamentals at all.
Which brings me to a great line that my buddy Chris Dietz said last week when I had him on the show. When I went through my snowman stake and I said Angel Reese started at the bottom and worked her way up to nothing, he coupled it by saying she started at the bottom and has gotten worse. You
got to remember, pro sports are eyeballs. Okay.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, okay, she's got 10 million fans. She brings eyeballs. So like her or not, okay, Angel Reese will put butts in the seats. Whether you like her or not, okay, that's why she's there. So management will tolerate her game is because she's a draw. Go ahead.
This is what I don't get. You hooped in college. You hooped for Kim Mulkey. You showed you had a game. How the fuck you go from having a good, decent game in college, being a decent rebounder, and putting shots back up to you can't even make layups. You can't even get rebounds.
In college, and some man can tell you, in college, especially with a coach like Kim Mulkey, okay, she's going to limit what you have to do and put you in a position to succeed, okay, because you're not a star, okay?
Yep.
Kim Mulkey knows you're not a star, okay, but you're a role player.
You just said the exact reason. Kim Mulkey is the reason
Yeah.
Angel Reese was a college champion. Kim Mulkey is the reason, period.
Yeah. I
Kim
mean,
Mulkey stayed on her ass.
I mean, the coaches could, because last year she did have a decent coach, okay? But the
Yeah.
thing is, management wanted her to get the ball because she brought eyeballs. So this is not a coach problem, okay? Snowman can coach her and make her play better, okay? Snowman can make her play better. It's not the problem. It's management wants to keep this bullshit going because that's what
Yep.
sells tickets, okay? At the end of the day, you want to sell
They
your
don't
tickets.
care about her developing as a
No.
player. They
No.
want to sell out the Wintrust Arena
if they can,
and they want to get lucky and sell out the United Center a second
Mhm.
time. Well,
Yeah.
let me retract that, because the United Center is sold out because of Caitlin Clark, and they
Yeah.
play there on July 27th.
Yeah.
No other reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
So let me retract and correct myself with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because basically, me and Snowman said this even before the season started. They're selling clothes and they're selling drama. Okay,
We've been saying this shit for 2 years.
Yeah, they should have a reality show called The W. Okay, they make a whole lot of money off of that because that's all they do. So all it is drama. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Caitlin Clark.
Because
so
it ain't.
It's
It's not.
me.
Yeah. Oh, we okay. The thing is, and this is something I was telling Snowman. Okay. The New York Liberty played them straight up without all the hand checking and grabbing and stuff like that. Man, she dropped 25 points in the first half.
She dropped 3 threes in 38 seconds.
In 38 seconds. In other words, and basically the next game they said, "Oh hell no, we got to go back to what we used to do."
She went from being scoreless, and no, check that. She went from having 5 points and 2 of 2 from the line. She went from having 5 points and 3 for 3 from the line to 14 points within 38 seconds.
Yeah, because she's got that kind of talent. So, and the thing is, if you notice the way she was played, okay, they, in that game, they didn't allow the two-hand hand check. They didn't allow them to grab her. They didn't allow all that kind of stuff. Basically, she went off. Said, okay, now I know why they allowed the rest allowed them to guard her that way, because she'll go off. Okay, and she did. Because the next game, oh no, that's when all the fights started, because
she only hit 3 3-point goals against Connecticut.
Yeah, because they were bumping her and grabbing and stuff like that.
20 points. They were shoving her all over the place.
Yeah.
They were shoving her all over the place with the basic attitude of, oh no, you're not going to do that to us. And Marina Mabry should have gotten tossed immediately. Part 1. Part 2, she should have been suspended.
I don't know about suspended, but tossed. Okay.
No? You don't think she should have been suspended?
No, that happens all the time.
Tossed, I know. Tossed, I agree with, because I voiced that.
She should have got tossed. She didn't throw any swings. Okay. If they tossed, what's her name? They should have tossed Marina Mabry. So, but they did. So
they didn't toss Mabry. They tossed Sheldon, but didn't do that until later. They didn't do it after she scratched Caitlin Clark.
No, they did that after the what's her name, Cunningham.
Yeah, Sophie Cunningham said, "Oh no, you don't."
And she's smart. Basically, they say they fined her $400, but she added 1 million followers on I think on Twitter.
So, it was
on Instagram.
Smartest $400 she.
Oh yeah. She's smiling. She said, "I'll do it again."
She said it aloud. She said it proudly. I heard in a couple of interviews. Damn right, I'll do it again.
I'll do it again. I'm not sorry. Okay.
And people
Don't
are
touch
pissed
my
off.
teammate.
People
I
are
won't
pissed
touch
off
you.
about that.
So
People are pissed off about Sophie Cunningham standing up for Caitlin Clark. The league is pissed off, if you notice, BGS, at Sophie Cunningham for standing up for Caitlin Clark, to a point that there was a petition on change.org to get her kicked out of the league.
Yeah, right. You're right.
I ain't making this up.
That's because
if what's your name, Thomas, was it Alicia Thomas? What is her name? AT that plays for Phoenix. Okay, if she didn't get
Alicia Thomas, Thomas or Alicia Thomas?
No, Thomas. Remember the chick that put Reese on her back?
Oh, choke slammed her.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know who you're talking about now.
If they didn't kick her out of, she didn't get kicked out of the league for that, and that is a dangerous fucking play. Okay. Then there's no way Sophie Cunningham should be kicked out of the league. It's not gonna happen.
And if they didn't kick Kennedy Carter out of the league last year.
Yeah.
For that hip check
Oh,
she did.
Hip checks, stuff like that happen all the time, right? The thing is, you get kicked out for doing shit dangerous, like what Thomas did to Reese was dangerous. Okay, she should have been suspended for at least 2 games for doing some shit like that, because that can put people, that can actually put her in the hospital.
Landed her
on her neck. She could have got paralyzed behind that shit. Okay, you can't play with stuff like that. You can't play with. Okay?
No, you can't.
Okay, and Marbury blindsiding somebody, not even being part of the play, she should have got kicked. Okay, so I don't know. I have no idea what the refs are looking at. I don't have what their instructions are, but
they were told they were told something, and I think they were told don't let Caitlin Clark go off.
Yeah, that's probably what they told her. Yeah,
they were told don't let her go off like she did in a nationally televised game against the champs.
And basically, because because I noticed, they were playing her. They were playing her like a normal defense. They weren't chance checking her. They didn't have the forearm in her side like they normally would. Okay, which is how you hold somebody, keep somebody from going around. You stick out that forearm and slow them down. Okay, so they can't get around you. And so, but they weren't guarding her like that. Like I said, she went off. She scored 25 points in the first half. And I said, okay. I said either one or two things. Either they're gonna let her go off, or they're gonna go back to what they were doing. And in the very next game, they went back.
To what they were doing.
Yeah.
So they made other people beat her. Yeah. They made other people on that FIBA team.
There's 2 things they do now. Okay, they hand check her and they double team Boston down low.
Yep.
In fact, the Valkyries had triple teamed her, and Boston should have known better, man. You get triple team, pass out of that triple team, okay?
She did not do it. She didn't do it at all.
She was stubborn. So I said, "Damn,
they were sending a posse They were sending a posse after her every time she touched the ball in the post.
Yeah, but I also blame the coach, because the coach should have pulled her aside. Hey, you getting triple team, and have somebody slide to that corner. Well, she can pass. The thing is, I don't know why she can pass.
Hey, Snowman. At this point, Clayton should go to the other team. Hey, how many of y'all going to guard me tonight? Which white girl you going to put on me tonight?
Oh, so she should do what Michael Jordan did to the Atlanta Hawks one day.
No, I
was actually referring to Larry Bird, but yeah.
Well, here's the story I was referring to. They were playing the Hawks. Bulls were in Chicago Stadium. It was 87. End of the 87 season, as a matter of fact. Next to last game. And Michael walked into the Hawks locker room, looked at Dominique, looked at Kevin Willis. Then he spots Randy Whitman, looks at him and simply says, lace him up, it's going to be a long night. 1 point.
Yeah. He was cocky. Yeah.
61. He dropped 61 points. The strangest part about that game, the Bulls lost 117-114.
Yeah,
he took all the shots.
How do I remember that game? Listened to it in full, recorded it on my mom's recorder, and never gave it up.
But we act like the Bulls wasn't trash in the 80s. There was a 4th place ass team. Cleveland was better than them. Philly was better than them. Boston was better than them. Milwaukee was better than them. Detroit was better than them.
Everybody was better. From 85 through 87.
Hold on. One at a time, y'all.
From 85 through 87, everybody in the East was better than the Bulls.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And like Isaiah Thomas said, Michael Jordan didn't own nobody in the 80s. It was Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Dr. J, and then it was the rest of the period point blank. Michael was trying to find his way through the 80s. He was getting lynched by everybody.
It wasn't time.
People want to talk about that shit.
And Magic didn't win another one after Kareem retired.
Here's a piece of NBA trivia. The award was introduced in 1982. This fellow not only won the first one, but won the next one the year after that. The award was Defensive Player of the Year. Who was the winner?
Dennis Rodman.
No, it wasn't. It was too early for Dennis Rodman. It's got to be Cooper, right?
Nope.
Who was it?
Sidney Moncrief, Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay, Moncrief. Okay.
Yep, he was the first Defensive Player of the Year award winner, and he repeated it the next year.
He's the one that got was in the Kareem trade.
Yeah. He was the one out of guard out of Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
He was the pick that they got when they sent Kareem to the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And this Buck selected
Snowman. What you know about the Boston Strangler?
Andrew Toney, Southwest
Man,
Texas State, 6'2".
Man, one man wrecking crew.
in the game where he became known as the Boston Strangler was in 1982. It was the playoffs. They were playing the Boston Celtics in the Garden. It was Game 7, and Boston was so confident because they wiped out a 3-1 deficit against Philadelphia the year before, 1981, that they just thought because it was in Boston, they'll do it again. Julius came out hot to start the game. Andrew Toney roasted their ass the remainder of the game. 34 points, I want to say he had. He became known as the Boston Strangler.
But that was the year that Boston practically gave up on Bill Fitch. Everybody talked about it in that Celtics documentary, and the only person who was living about that situation was Larry. Larry said he felt like the team quit, but no. What's the name? Chief Robert Perry said, "No, we quit. We didn't quit on Larry. We didn't quit on the team. We quit on Bill Fitch. Bill Fitch was working us to death for no reason. And then after the game, with the year they won, 81, you know, everybody's happy, everybody's jubilant. You would think the coach would come in and give praise and kudos. No, Bill Fitch comes in with a whole stat sheet, and he's ridiculing everybody on how sorry they played. Not giving them kudos for, hey, you did a good job. We won the ship. I'm proud of you. Not that backdoor to come back to
him apart. He ripped him apart. And then what really sent Bill Fitch out of Boston was the following year, 1983, when they got swept by the Milwaukee Bucks.
And a lot of people don't know this. Bill Fitch won 2 titles with Boston. KC only won 1. They got 3 ships in the 80s. Out of them 3 ships, KC got his in 86, but Bill got his in 81.
That's wrong. KC got 2 championships, 84 and 86. 84 and 86. Bill
got it in 81. He got it in 81. Okay,
Bill got it in 81 with a 6-game win over Houston. KC against Moses. And I believe Moses was the MVP in 1981.
Yeah.
Casey Jones won in 84 with that 7-game war against the Lakers, and then he beat Houston again in 1986 with a 6-game win. So
yeah,
Casey got 2 times.
Fellas, it's that time. Any last words? Been a fun night for the most part.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
I'm last. Go ahead.
I'd like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm an old Negro, and I'm going to bed. Peace. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.